So what were some of your first impressions when you got to the farm?
I thought there was going to be no electricity.
I was expecting log cabins.
I thought there was actually going to be more animals here.
I'm from Togo, West Africa. I thought first I was farm camp. I was farm. I thought of farm first, and I was like, yes, because in my country, my father, everybody, my family, we used to go to farms every time.
I used to have experience about the farm in China, but I never been like American farm before, so I really want to come here. And I thought there might be a lot of crops, so we can like harvest them or something. But turns out I didn't see any crops here.
Like I thought we were just gonna do everything supernatural and like weird.
And then they said I couldn't bring myself, and I'm like, oh my god.
What I expected to get out of this week, or what I would hope for the kids to go and see, applies to a few of the different goals that we have for the camp. One, as far as is bringing together such different kids from all sorts of different types of diversity, whether it's race and ethnic, to different religions, to suburban, urban, rural, homeschooled, public schooled, private school, and it's exciting that we were able to get such a diverse group together.
But it was so nice here that nobody knew each other. That was such a great thing because we all had to reach out to each other, and we started saying, you know what, I have this in common, this is cool, that's cool, you do this. And it just brought us much more together than I felt it would have if, you always feel like the intruder when you're the one person coming into a group of already made friends. And this was just, we're all new here, we don't know each other. We can open up, we can talk, and somehow managed to be friends with basically everybody here.
And I had one camper come up to me the first day, and I asked her how things were going, and she said, I've met people from other cultures quite a lot in my life, but I've never had the opportunity to actually get to know people and see them as friends. And she was excited because she realized that that's what this week was going to be about. And when I checked in with her earlier this morning, I just said, so how's the friendship making going? And her smile got so big. And what I'm excited about it is not only do we see strong friendships growing, but healthy friendships in the way of how can we as friends help each other to grow? How can we help each other to overcome obstacles?
And I guess I started learning how to talk and open up to people through our activities, especially like the trust one, where we climbed up this thing and we jumped off into these people's arms that you don't really talk to. After you jump into someone's arms, they basically save your life. You're just friends.
There were two things there that you had to overcome. One was, I'm afraid of heights, and the second one was trusting people that at the time you really don't know. And that is just so incredibly scary, two things which I hadn't done before, and once I did them, it was so freeing.
One of the other goals is specifically about leadership, in helping the kids to not only learn about leadership, but giving them the opportunity to actually lead their peers themselves. And it's been exciting to see how they've embraced that. All the kids were able to plan different games and activities that they wanted to lead the group in. And so every day we've had 2 or 3 of these kind of activities.
A leader doesn't always have to be in a leadership position. Just like Mr. Ken once said, a good leader can lead from the back.
I'm also able to bring home, the positive attitudes and everything that I got from here, and be a role model for my younger brother and younger sister so that they may go down the right track.
When I came here last year, before that, I was a bad kid. Yeah, I was bad. I was in detention every day, in the principal's office every day. And when I came here, I learned some leadership skills. I learned a whole different world just opened up to me. And I went back to school that 8th grade year, and I ran for president. And I actually got it. And the principal was like, ooh, who's president? Who's president? They're like, James. She's like, what? They were so impressed. It was unbelievable. The change that happened, it happened overnight. And I think that really came from this camp.
Thank you.
By the time we had gotten here, it was their second full day, technically their third day here, and they had already heard from the Roxy Ballet and talked about dance with the Roxy Ballet folks, and so they had already started singing a little bit together and dancing a little bit together, so there were already some collaborations born before we even got here, but it was very quick. They had a lot of ideas, they started working together, and it's interesting, even the kids who were shy at first and a little bit resistant at first, as each day progresses, now they want to work with other people. One of the guys just came up to me and said, "Can I be a host with these two others?" And
everybody has a hidden talent, and we're at a leadership youth camp, and these kids only have 1 week to be here. So it takes a little while to break them out of their shell, but once they're out of their shell, they blossom. They blossom just like they were home and someone never asked about their talent. So it's good to have that, even if it's just for 1 week.
And if you had a message that you would share with your neighborhood, based on what you've gotten out of this program, what would that message be?
Don't think about how like it's a farm, because it's not really like that. You need to come here and experience it for yourself.
I was glad that I made the trip down here because this place really does open your eyes up to a completely different world.
I just want to say one thing, that just come here is going to change your life.
Always express yourself and say how you feel. Like, try to be more blunt and don't hold back on some of the things.
I learned a lot, and I enjoy being here, so anybody from anywhere can just come.
Less than 1/3 of the freshmen that come into my school graduate from my school. And the message that I would send back to the kids in my school and, you know, around my neighborhood is there's a lot more things to life than just cutting class and, you know, and just trying to be cool with the wrong group.
The message that I want to send to this one person, it's this kid, he was in my class. His name's Eric. He's a gang leader now, but he was so smart in school. I mean, he was a good leader, and he still is a good leader. I mean, even though he does bad things, the way he does it and command his squad is so smart, and it shows his leadership skills. But if only he can use those leadership skills for positive things, it can be so great. It can be an amazing thing. Because I'm looking at this guy, and I'm like, this guy used to sit next to me in class, and now he's sitting on that corner. And it's a shame, because I think if he would have came here, he would have been a completely different person. Completely different person.
The place where I come from isn't really that great an area, so between that and me being homeschooled, I'm a recluse. I think that the message to send to that community would definitely be, I don't want to be a recluse. I want to get out there.
I thought it was a place that inner city kids came to see a llama and a donkey and be out in nature. But what I ended up finding out is that the spirit of the farm is what drives the camp. And it's like what James was talking about. It teaches you how to relate to the world in a better way. And so working with these kids has taught me more than I ever thought possible.
Come join us at Fellowship Farm!